Hey guys, in this lesson we are going to have a look at hash. So we had a look at an array before. A hash is very similar with some differences. So it has a curly brackets. It could be done with a rocket sign, equal sign with a greater sign, for example. And let's have a look and see what it's like. So let's come out of the array directory, create a new directory called hash. Change into that directory and create a hash.rb file and open this up in Sublime. So the first thing we're going to do is create or define a hash. All right, so let's look at how to create a hash. All right, so let's create a customer instance variable and we can create a hash with curly brackets. So unlike arrays, we have to create a key. So in this case, the key is first name and the second key is last name. So an array, we didn't create a keys is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. But with a hash, you can create the keys yourself. All right, so now we have a hash, first name, last name, email, all saved into our customer. Okay. So if we say puts customer.inspect, this will print out our hash. So if we clear this and ruby hash.rb, and there we go, we have our hash. Okay, so it has this rocket in front and it has a symbol start. All right, so that's how we define a hash. Okay, now let's see how we can merge. So we have two hash and we want to merge them together. All right, so that's a method that hash has. So let's see, we have a customer. We can then say customer equals customer.merge, and we can add a new hash key and a value true. So when we inspect customer, we expect it to now have an additional key called active with value true. Now let's have a look and see if that worked. Customer inspect. Save this and then we can run it. Voila, we have active true. Okay, so you can update your hash with a merge. All right. We are going to do a few more of this when we start working in Ruby and stuff. In Ruby on Rails. This is Ruby. Okay, so let's have a look. Just tidy this up, make up my mind. And all right, so the next thing we're going to do is have a look at reading hash. So to do that, I'm going to copy this over. So I have a customer. And we can put customer and we can target one of the keys. So this is going to fetch the record John for us. Okay, so we can run that and it gives us John. All right, so we are going to use hash a lot when we start coding. So I'll leave this there for now. I'll put this there. All right, so now let's see, we can have a hash in arrays. Okay, so we're combining our hash and arrays together. So we can have an array of hash basically. So let's create people, an empty array, and now we can create we can add into it, so we can push into our array a hash. Okay, so I can copy this John person, paste it in here. Okay, so now we have an array that has a hash in it, and we can actually duplicate this, okay, and change some details. So we have an array with two contents in it, it's basically two hashes. Okay, so now we have this done. We can say puts people.count just to see how many contents we have in it. It will say 2. All right, and then we can read the first one. So this is an array, so the key of the first is 0, and now that we have the first one, we can get the first name. So you can guess what the first name would be in this case, right? So if we print that, it should say John, because John is the first one that we put into our array. Now we can, of course, get the second one, which would be Jane. All right, so that's how you can have an array of hashes. Okay. Now, if we comment this out, I'll just mark this as the end of that test. Now we are going to loop through an array of hashes. Okay. So this is something that we are going to see a lot of as we code. We're going to have an array of different records that we've read from the database. So we need to loop through them and do several things with that data. So now we have an array of hashes. We can say .each, okay, which yields a person, which is yields each record back to us. Now we can say each record, we have the first name from this person here, and then we can also get we could choose to show something else, the last name. All right, so now when we run this, we should see first and last name. So let's see, we have John Doe and we have Jane Doe. All right, so that's how we generally use hashes in combination with arrays, and that's how we loop through them as well. All right, now, all right, so just like an array, we can create an empty hash just like that, and that gives us an empty hash. All right, so that's it for this lesson. We've covered a few different things here, and that's it. So there's lots more methods for hash that you can explore and try out for yourself. You have delete if, you have delete, and we are going to see some of this being used as well. All right, so that's it for this lesson, guys. I'll see you in the next lesson.